Hi everyone, and welcome to my channel Seijaki. Today we are going to be discussing the universe that is Bridgerton season 3. They released 4 episodes for the part 1 of season 3, and they're going to be releasing more episodes later on this year. Which, what do y'all think about that? I know that that was definitely something that a lot of people were talking about, how many people hated it. Some people thought it was really smart, right? Because they binged those 4 episodes like nobody's business. What do y'all think about that? Do you like this two-part thing that they did, or would you have preferred for them to just release all episodes at once, or do the dreaded thing that, some of these streaming services have been doing lately, have been releasing like max each week an episode, like as if they were, a TV cable network? Ugh. I personally don't love that, even though I'm not a binger. I like having all episodes available to me so that I can watch it at my own pace, right? If I want to watch 2 episodes one day, I can. 5 episodes another day, I can, right? Like, I love that freedom. But what about you? Anywho, let's get into it. So, before we get into it, please reminder to like this video, subscribe to my channel Sejaki for more of everything. I'm kind of a potpourri of things on this channel. I do language classes. I teach English, French, Spanish, negotiation and mediation through this channel. I know. I'm also an artist, and so you will see some performances on this channel, some live performances, some virtual performances um, through this channel. And I also do reviews, reviews of all kinds of things. I mean, reviews of food, reviews of, I went to Mexico, and I reviewed the place there. Anyway, basically, a Jackie of all trade. Hey! So, if you like what you see, subscribe, like, and comment. Now back to Bridgerton, Season 3. There were so many things that people have been talking about. I mean, my goodness, we could talk probably for hours about Bridgerton, right? Like, the so much has happened in those 4 episodes, as well as um, people are feeling all kinds of things all over the place. Like, the vast majority, it seems, really love these 4 episodes. How about you? How do you feel about these episodes? Did they hit you? Like, did you really enjoy it? For those who didn't like it, I know that one of the criticism was that they focused on way too many storylines and people during the show, and people wanted them to focus a little bit more on the main couple, which are Penelope and Colin. And yeah, what do you think about that? I always think, I'm hoping that in the second part that they're going to release, they are going to spend a little bit more time with Colin and Penelope. Like, those are my hopes. That being said, yeah, I don't know. How do you feel about it? Please let me know in the comments below. I also know, one of the main conversations that's going on is whether or not people think that Penelope should be with Colin or should be with her lady caller, right? The man who is actually interested in her. I'm like blanking on his name real quick. And I'm like, what is his name again? But y'all probably know. I'll find his name. But what do y'all think? A lot of people believe that Colin doesn't deserve Penelope because, he's always seen her as a friend, and like he, you know, did, didn't appreciate her as more than that until, these kinds of these episodes, these latest episodes. That being said, we've gone through different tropes from season to season, right? And this is the friend to lover trope that we're going through. And I don't know about y'all, but personally, I'm always of the opinion that like would prefer the friend to love trope. As an actor, I love the enemies, season two, enemies to lovers trope. Like that's the most fun to play. In fact, I'm doing a show right now, Much Ado About Nothing, where I play Beatrice, and that's that trope. The enemies to lovers, and it's so much fun. But in real life, IRL, I'm way more into, yeah, a friends to lovers dynamic. I think it's so much, it's better. There's like a base that you build, a foundation, and like, I love it. I love that personally. How about y'all? Do you have a preferred trope of like when you're watching something? Or do you think that Colin deserves Penelope or not? If so, tell me, why not? Um, Lord Debling is his name. That's his name. Yes, I've seen several comments of people saying that Lord Debling should be the one to that Penelope chooses, and that Penelope should be with because he appreciated her from the jump. What are your thoughts on that? Um, I love when there's competition. So I'm so happy for our girl Penelope that it's not just her pining for her best friend Colin, and like finally he sees her. Like I love that there's some competition. In fact, I would have loved if Bridgerton had like broken the norms even more. And we'll talk about that in a second about, how bigger people, in a lot of TV shows and movies don't seem to like have this like the right to have a beautiful romance and things like that. And I hate that. Absolutely hate that that's a thing in entertainment. That being said, I would have loved it if even more, like there were more suitors for Penelope. Like all of a sudden, all of these people were really vying for her, right? And Colin really had to fight hard to get her attention and her love. Ugh, that would have been chef's kiss. But maybe in another season, right? Anything's possible. That being said, yeah, let's go back to that controversial topic of like that's also been coming up too in the blogs and in the the metaverse of the internet about how, people commenting on the actress Nicola who plays Penelope on her body, right? And her figure and almost and some people are even saying, how she doesn't deserve love because of the way she looks because she's quote unquote fat. What in the world? What is going on, people? What is going on? What are we doing? What are we saying? I don't understand. Like people. We really, really have to get outside of this mindset, this bullshit mindset of like, if you are of a larger figure, that you are necessarily, unhealthy. Number one, that is false. That has been proven false by science, loves. Can we get behind science, please? Some people are built bigger, okay? There are some really healthy people who are big just as much as there are some healthy people who are skinny. And the opposite, there are some unhealthy people who are big or who are fat, whatever you want to call them, just as much as there are some skinny people who are very unhealthy, okay? So, like, we need to get out of these basic dumb tropes and like stereotypes and thoughts, okay? Can we like especially when statistically the average woman in the US is a size 16, not a size 4, not a size 2, 16. I wouldn't be surprised if that size has gone up in the last couple of years, especially with the pandemic and everything. So what are we talking about when we're saying that certain people don't deserve happiness and love? What? I I'm really sad and disappointed in the hate that she's been getting on the internet, and in the fact that people, are like don't want to see it. If you don't want to see it, change the channel, okay? There's plenty to see, plenty of other things to watch. What are y'all's thoughts on that? How are you feeling about that? I know some people have been like very adamant and aggressive in their um, how to say, in going to against those trolls, and yeah, more power to them. That's not in me personally, uh, but yeah, I'm just very disappointed by any and all of those thoughts and comments. Seriously. And what else did you like about this these 4 episodes? I know that a lot of people, were talking about the kiss. Oh, spoiler. Or is it a spoiler? I don't know at this point. And I didn't say the kiss between whom. And other things. The initial one, the first one, of course. As well as other sexier scenes that occurred. What were your thoughts on that? Uh, a lot of my friends that I know say that season 1 was really the sexiest season in Bridgerton, and they would love to see more of that brought back. What are your thoughts on that? I thought at first that I would be of that camp personally, but I really like seasons 2. Again, it's the enemies to lovers thing. I don't know, there's something about it, the tension, that's just really delicious as well. So, I don't know. I don't know if I want more. I'll have to think about it. I'll have to see what they do in part 2. And speaking of part 2, what are your hopes for part 2? Do you have anything that you would really like to see? Um, yeah. Where do you want it to go? For those of you who haven't read the books, I haven't read the books personally, so I don't know or can't anticipate what will happen. I mean, I can imagine, I can come up with things, but I don't have any clear, like, this is what I want and this is what's going to happen, and I hope to see that from the books into this. How about y'all? Um, do a lot of you read the books or have read the books before? What do you think? Do you think that the TV show is a good adaptation of the books, or not? Or is it an upgrade from the books? What are your thoughts on that? That being said, I have bought, I think, all of the books. Costco had a deal, of course they did, where they had all of the books, and I jumped on that bandwagon real fast and bought them all for the day when I have more time to read, so I can read them. And I look forward to reading all of them. I know a lot of my friends, not a lot, but I have a couple of friends who have read the books and who love them. And then one of my friends critiques it live on Facebook. It's quite entertaining. Oh, excellent. Well, I don't want to go into too many spoilers or things like that, but I do want to know your thoughts on the show, on especially the main couple, the main ship, Colin and Penelope. Um, and yeah, what are your thoughts also for this part 2 coming up? Like, can you foresee anything? Can you give me any tea? um, but thank you so much for watching and for tuning in. And yeah, let me know also if there are like other controversies that you've heard that have arisen from this season and the part in this season. I mean, it's always interesting to hear all of the different points of view, you know, the people who love it, the people who hate it, the clips also that they like push on social media is also super interesting, right? To see like, oh, do they think Penelope is beautiful, or is she clumsy, or is she this or that? Like, same for Colin. Like, is Colin worthy? Is he not worthy? Does he deserve Penelope's love ultimately? And one of the thoughts, you know, of why like she should choose the other lord over Colin was because of money and title. Like he actually has money and title and status, and fortunately or unfortunately, that matters, right? And that's something that women have had to think about, and in some countries and cultures still have to think about. And he offers that over Colin. Colin and his family don't have the same amount of money and title and status that that lord and other lords have. Should that matter? What y'all think? Let me know in the comments below. And who would you choose? Yeah, you personally. Who would you choose between um, Colin and the other lord? Or who would you choose between the brothers? I would love to know that as well. Let me know in the comments below. Thanks again for listening to my little thought on Bridgerton season 3, part 1. And if you want to hear more, let me know in the comments below. If you want to be a guest on my channel too, let me know in the comments below. I love having guests. And I hope to catch you at my next video. Have a lovely day. Merci mes amours. See you later. Toodles.